All right, at this time I will call the December meeting of the MSD of North Posey School Board to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Slagle, if you will please read our vision, mission, core beliefs, and high priorities.
Absolutely. Our vision in North Posey is we inspire all students to achieve their potential for learning in life and in a safe and supportive environment. Mission, we partner with our community to create a dynamic and innovative educational experience, empowering students to become educated, productive, and responsible citizens. Core beliefs, we believe our community is vital to our educational success. Everyone is valued and treated with respect and always telling the truth. An educational opportunity for all. Student-centered programs challenging and inspiring learning in the pursuit of excellence to a strong sense of pride. And our high priority, enhancing the student experience, investing in administrators and staff, fostering strong relationships among all, and maximizing resources.
Thank you for that. So we are going to move on now to good news.
Well, President Oakley, we have some students here from South Terrace, and they're going to explain to you what they have brought in.
We are the South Terrace Prowling Panther Robotics team. We will be talking about our innovation project. I hope you enjoy our presentation. We have made a scrapbook to show you today. It is from the first day and every day that we have done something important. Like the first day, our guest speaker was building the robots, building the attachments, and practicing the missions.
Our guest speaker was an oceanographer from NASA, and she told us about the robots in the ocean, how they work, and how they make the ocean a better place to live.
Before we came up with our innovation project, we had a cartoon type story where we had to find a solution to a problem that didn't have a story. We came up with different types of solutions that gave us ideas to our innovation project. After our problem and solution, we came up with our own ideas to help the ocean and the wildlife. Our coach gave us a blank piece of paper to write and draw our ideas. Then we presented them to each other, and they were very alike. Then we built these robots, Prowler and Dr. Panther, that will go round on the board. Our robot Prowler will doze all the trash. Our robot Dr. Panther will build artificial coral reefs underwater. The Dr. Panther will also fill a fish feeder to help the rare fish that are endangered.
We decided to do a mission board made out of Legos to show you what we thought the bottom of the ocean looked like. First, we picked out the color of the Lego base plates and decided to do white. Next, we glued down the Lego base plates to hold them in place. Then we brainstormed ideas of what to put on the Lego mission board, and finally we decorated the mission board float too. First, we decided if we should use Lego or the 3D printer. We mainly use Lego because it's a Lego-based project, but we still use the 3D printer to make it more realistic. Next, we designed coral reefs and sea animals in Tinkercad and transferred into Toybox Labs. Then printed it out with the Toybox 3D printers. Last, we glued Lego tiles to the bottom of the coral reefs and sea animals.
You guys printed these?
Board members, will you please come down to see the board?
They would like for you to join them at the board.
Okay.
This is Dr. Panther. He has been designed to scan the bottom of the ocean and send information to scientists. They will use this information to help find the needs of the ocean habitat. Dr. Panther will also fill the fish feeder as needed to get food to the endangered fish.
this is the fish feeder. So the fishing from Dr. Panther will go into the fish feeder and feed the almost extinct fish of the ocean. And Dr. Panther will see what fish are like the most common color of the fish that's about to go extinct. Then we'll put it into the robot and it'll dispense the food for the fish.
The prowler collects trash and decides which trash to throw away and which trash to keep. It will then the trash that it keeps bring it to Dr. Panther, and Dr. Panther will go thoroughly through the trash.
The Prowling Panthers Innovation Project entails creating a mission board that replicates the bottom of the ocean floor. Design the Dr. Panther robot to be used to survey the ocean floor and find what it needs to help make the ocean a better place to live. Dr. Panther's other job is to fill the fish feeder to help endangered fish survive. The robot's main job is to build new coral reefs from the trash collected by the prowling bulldozer in the ocean. We feel as a team that it's our responsibility to help make our world a better place to live, and through our innovation project it is possible. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
How many hours do you guys have in this project?
A couple of days.
Yeah.
Oh, my
They've been working on this since August.
4 months.
Yeah. And then that, our innovation project won first place at the competition this Saturday. So that's what the trophy is for. Okay, so then they want to talk to you about the robot. So Benjamin and Will come up and they're going to explain, you guys can have a seat and they're going to explain to you. So this is only the innovation project is only 25% of the scoring. So now they're going to explain to you some of the other parts of the scoring.
So we first started off with the Spike Prime so we could get the stuff that we need, and then we went onto YouTube and on Spike Prime and to build this robot, and then we built attachment to do different missions.
This is not one of the first. We have built 3 other robots, started out with the basic and worked our way up to this robot.
Do you guys have to code?
Oh, they're going to tell you about that.
Okay.
Noah, wait. Noah, you need to go up and tell about the attachments.
So attachments are supposed to do like tap. You're supposed to tap them so the robot like, look, this is supposed to pick up stuff off the road. Then when go and go under, so they go out.
So what can you tell them, what's that a part of, like our robot? Why do we have to have that robot? What are we doing for that robot?
So this robot, it does missions around the board in closing in different scoring, the time we do it, how many mistakes we make, and how many missions we do. Our last highest score was in the 200s, and most of the teams had things with the bigger wheels, and we wanted to improve our robot just as they did.
Okay. All right, Gracie, come on up. Guys, go ahead, you can go back.
As you can see, we use word blocks to code our robot, and down here, we created our own blocks that would make the robot better and the turn better, like the turn by gyro, the drive straight, which would make it drive better, keep it is something to go back on the path that it was heading to. And the accelerate would, where it starts slow and then it will move up. And then these are some of our missions that we have started and that we will do on our mission board.
So Gracie, start over there and show them that. That's just one code or one mission that they have to, they complete and get points for.
This is the code for, our robot for the shark. The shark and places in a button to release the shark and get points by putting it in a certain spot on the board.
And you code that with the computer? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We all have a computer.
And the blocks just, there's multiple, and you just place it in what you need to do, and you can download it down here to whatever number, and then, yeah.
So yeah, turn the robot on so they can see what you're talking about. Well, turn the robot on so they can see what they're talking about with the numbers.
So every mission has a different one. It goes from all the way to 19 to whatever one you put it into. We found it's faster to click right ways than it is left ways. So we try to put it more to the right than we do the left. But each one has its own mission around the board.
So how many different missions do you have? 6?
We've attempted all of them. We have attempted all of them, but we're not sure which ones we will do at competition point.
How many are there?
How many are there? Yeah.
15.
When you say around the board, are you talking about this board or are you talking about another one for competition?
Another one.
For competition.
Right.
So it's a very large board, and each year the Lego group puts together, and it's called a mission board. This is an innovation board that they've created, because you have to come up with a project to present. But the mission board, they have to design the robot to go to the different missions and get so many points. And that's what we're doing for that. And that's only 25% of the score also.
And it does not entitle in all the blocks that we need, such as turn by drone. We have to make our own turn by drone code to have it turn in a certain way than most. So the last one jerked too hard, and we had to come up with our own code to be able to turn the correct way.
Why don't you put it on the floor? Let's see if we can get it to run.
And I think you just answered it, but I was gonna ask, what is one of your biggest failures that you've had during the?
A ship, maybe? No. Like at the very start, when we started the ship, maybe?
No.
It hit the octopus.
Bumping.
The octopus. It hit the button and turned off the boat.
I think ours was
But-
trying to get the turn by driver to work,
Yeah.
because every once in a while it wouldn't turn when we needed it to, and that took a lot of our time trying to do it.
You wrote your own code for some of those stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we
All of
were
it,
all.
all of it. Yeah. So everything that you're seeing tonight, from the robot to the innovation project, these kids have created and have figured out and problem solved and figured out a solution to help the ocean. And they've done it all. They put a lot of hours in, but they are very, very passionate about robotics, but they're very, very intelligent, and they're great problem solvers.
When I was your age, I was good at Lincoln Logs.
Same, I love those.
See, those were like Legos that were made out of wood before they had plastic.
All right, I think we can run it. But go,
Before
run it.
So this is one of our missions that we have. This should be the ship that goes around, and it's called a vessel, and it should put a vessel in.
Turns around. In the full 60-degree turn, and goes back into Holland so we can set up in
That one's scuba diver.
Yeah, the scuba diver. We haven't finished coding that one yet, but it picks up the scuba diver, turns it around, places it where it needs to be, and we're still working on it coming back into home.
But know that how dedicated these kids are. It's probably, Mr. Wilson, the last 2 months, we've almost stayed every night until 5 o'clock, and then they come in on Saturdays from 9 to 12 to work on this. This is how dedicated this group is. So we want Grady to show you something else that they learned how to do on top of all of this.
So, we use these 3D printers to make the coral reefs we see animals. Some of them we designed on our own. Some of them we found models and then we printed them out. But a lot of them we found models for. And we use a lot of different colors of filament. We have a wide variety of colors, and we also use it to make it look more realistic instead of just Legos. Because Legos are cute. A lot of the Legos are cubed, and like we can't get like you can't make like really big coral reefs like this that look realistic with them. So we 3D printed them to make them look more realistic.
And the school district had purchased those for the STEM lab. And then Mr. Wilson, my other coach, he went in and showed them how to use those. And that's when they decided they wanted to incorporate that into their innovation project. So we want to thank you guys for supporting that but because that's huge for them to learn that.
So who all is in the 6th grade then is going to junior high? Everybody except for one. You're a 5th grader?
Yeah.
So you're carrying the torch. And how many of you are going to be on the junior high school team next year? Good, all hands.
I know we heard your names earlier, but could you give us maybe your name? You go down the line, tell us who you are.
My name is Grace Lineker.
CJ Mattingly.
Will Jenkins, Grady Holt,
Adrian Martin.
Lincoln Jones.
Ryan McDonald.
Logan Griffith. Benjamin Bratton.
We'd like to thank you guys for showing us. It's really awesome. When is your competition?
December 4th,
Okay.
Saturday.
I can't tell you how impressed I am. I thought you had a drawing or a thing of your South Terrace School was going to be on there. I didn't know we were going to be at the bottom of the ocean. That's extraordinary.
Would you say you do a class or a club? Or more of a club?
Or a team.
A club, a team.
Robotics
team.
A robotics team, Crowley Panthers robotics team.
Okay.
We have some gift cards for you guys. Show our appreciation for coming in. These are just ice cream.
You guys have got the school so excited about robotics.
Thank you.
We've introduced it now from 1st grade all the way to 6th. QSI has loaned us 10 robotics kits to use, and they're taking those back on Monday. But that's fantastic. That's what the University of Southern Indiana has done for us very much. We need to keep that going. And we don't want to lose that. These guys have inspired the whole school.
So how did that partnership develop between USI and
That lady right there.
you reached out to them?
I know they reached out to
They
me.
reached out.
They asked me to teach a robotics camp this last summer.
Okay.
And then from there, we kind of just.
So those partnerships are kind
Yeah. So, they're amazing kids. And if I could keep them all, the team, because there's some teams that go all the way to 8th grade, I would keep them. Because we competed, the 2 teams that were higher than us were both all 8th graders. So that's pretty awesome. They're 6th graders.
really nice.
So we're very proud of them. We feel like semi-state is like icing on the cake for us to go have fun and show them how much we love robotics. But they wanted you to know how much they love robotics and that for it to never go away from us because it's an amazing thing.
I can't imagine that it ever will.
Okay, Benjamin, you want to start and go on?
So did you say the 2 teams that finished higher than them were 8th grade teams?
8th grade teams.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. Very proud of that. Thank you.
Very
Nice
proud.
handshake.
Great job.
Thank you. Good luck.
Very proud.
Good luck, guys.
Great job.
Very
Great
proud.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And those scrapbooks are really, really good too.
Oh, yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, I know that,
Is that good?
We also wanted you to know, like, once we're done with competition, that we are planning on, and I did this last year, that I started a Lego Activity Club. And so we're going to do fifth grade for the month of Well, tell me. I'm in. Thank you guys very much.
It comes from first robotics.
So we have to use.
Thanks for bringing them out, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. But they've done lots of research.
Great job. Somebody died or.
Pam, where's your contest meeting in? It's in, at Center Grove High School. Thank you, guys.
Good luck Saturday. Tell your family I'm here.
Wow.
Why am I not?
I appreciate
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Stuck behind the door.
That's where she wants to be. All right.
Are we just visiting this evening or?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
We're gonna move on to patron concerns now, and you guys want to go together, or?
So I didn't know how much time we had, so I'm gonna try and make it really, really fast. So I'm Amber Pickens. I was the track coach. I coached girls as the head coach. Also, I was a sprinter coach. So we're here to plead the case for 4 records that were broken at IHSA Station meets but are being denied. I have some information here that I will share with you. So on April 16th, we had a home tri meet, and at that meet, 3 records were broken. One was broken by Xander Pickens. He ran a 1094 in the 100, breaking the old record that was set in 2018 by Kyle Stewart. Ellie Jo Johnson broke 2 records that night. She broke a 100. I have her times 1191. And the 200, she ran a 25:47. Both of those records were broken, were set in 1981. So in a meeting in early November, I was petitioning to have these recognized because I had heard that there was a person who was saying that they weren't going to be acknowledged. So in that meeting, I brought it up. And some other issues we had. There are some other records that were broken 2 years prior that have not been updated on the board. So I brought it up and I was told that they weren't going to be given their records for 3 reasons. The first one being that it was too windy that night. In Xander's case, this is what's going around. I have the print offs of the student that had held the record prior, and Xander's wind conditions. They are very similar at the time. I have timestamps of when the 100-meter race was ran. So their times are similar. In the 1981 records with Ellie Jo Johnson, I do not have that because they didn't have direct athletics, so I can't go back and see what date that was run and go find the weather conditions at that time. So that, but The second thing that was given to me is that these were hand time meets, so we can't count those. All at North Posey, except for a handful, maybe 3 or 4 of our meets, are hand timed. And that's, I'm talking if we go to other places. That has never been a stipulation. I can guarantee the majority, if not all of those that are on the board, were hand timed meets. The third one was that, and this will also go to the other record that I will be talking about, was that these were only broken in milliseconds. In my world, in track world, it's all milliseconds. In the Olympics, it's milliseconds. So in the history of track, that's how records are broken. So that leads me to the 4x4 record. On Thursday, May 16th, 2024, Julian Dickinson, he had practice. Seth Gentile also had practice. Xander Pickens and Dylan Helfert was my 4x4 team. They ran at sectionals, which was FAT timed, and they ran a 3:30.11. So our record board shows that the current holders run a 3:30, which I thought was odd because in sprint world, there's always milliseconds. If you go and look, there's always. But I didn't think anything of it until that night that they ran. I'll hand these around as well. While we were waiting for the final time, because we knew that there was going to be milliseconds involved, we were all waiting. The AD from Central went up to find a time for me. And she came back and told me it was 3:30.11. So we were disappointed. But while we were waiting, a parent had looked up on AthleticNet and saw that there was a discrepancy, that there was an issue with our board. Somewhere along the lines when they updated it, they dropped the 0.82. So the original 4x4 time was 3:30.82, not 3:30 flat. So I brought that up in the meeting. And showed this information. I put it on the table, and the only response that I got that time was, "That's interesting." I find it interesting that parents would push this. As a parent and a former coach, I don't find it interesting. We spend our whole time. One of the things, the very first things I did at the season was had them look at the board. What are your goals? Your goals are, they set their goals. Their goals were to break records or to better themselves. They knew in the 100 times and the 200 times and the 4x4 times exactly what their goal was. When they crossed that finish line, they were given their times. They knew. They broke it in the earlier cases and in the 4x4. So that meeting was why I resigned. There was more involved in it, but mostly so because this is so wrong that these kids in the 100, the 200, and the 4x4 are being denied and not even given a thought about it. So I came back after my resignation. I was called into the office to go over it. And in that meeting, the issue was brought back up about the 4x4 and the other records. And I was told, well, it was only broken in milliseconds, period, end of story, as if that was the answer to the problem. So I'm coming on behalf of other parents, of the students who weren't able to make it today, and just the program itself. We grew. I don't know if you guys are aware, but by 53% from 2 years ago. We have grown in numbers. We've had 6 records broken. There are 2 prior to this last year that were broken. I've been told the board would be updated by Waylon Shank, and then the board has never been updated. I do believe his intentions were to update it. I'm not sure what happened along the line, but I'm just asking that, if anything, consideration, if you guys want to have another meeting, I have all the data. I'm very big on keeping data. I've got all the records. I've got the results. Anything you guys need to give you an opportunity to further look into that. But that's all I'm asking, to just give these kids an opportunity, look at it, and see that they worked very hard and they deserve to be recognized. Do you guys have anything?
You said it well.
Thank you.
Where is the board displayed?
The board is displayed just as you walk in the field on the first cinder block.
Used to be up in the gym someplace, or not? Am I mistaken?
I'm kind of newish here, so.
It's always been out there, okay.
So the thing with the board is we used to have a, like a wood board. And just the year that I started coaching, they upgraded the board. It's laser cut. It's really beautiful. It's gorgeous. But that year, then we had 2 records break and then we had more break. So I think there's some issue with that. I mean, I even printed off little stickers to put up there. Like anything, 2 of our kids have graduated. My son has graduated. Another girl, Olivia Eshe, hers is still waiting to be updated from 2 years ago. She's moved on to another college to run. We tell these kids, go out there and do your best and teach them to give it their all, and then they do, and then they don't get the proper recognition, and it's disheartening. So.
Thank you for bringing that to us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, if you need anything, Amber Pickens, I have everything. I will send it all your way if you have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is just to keep me focused.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could use it for my newspaper study beans here.
Oh,
If
no.
they updated, if not.
Oh, no. You can, you're one.
Yeah, that would make it a lot easier. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Alright, so we're gonna move on to the minutes, claim docket and consent items. Here to give us a quick little synopsis of these.
We have our minutes from our previous meeting on November 11th. Claim docket then, you'll see 3 resignations, some personal leave requests in there. And then our hiring as far as our coverage at South Terrace. We're hiring a temporary teacher to help backfill there. Patrick moved from the high school to North Elementary. Jessica Duncan's been hired for the high school. We'll start on January 20th. Jane Gilbert will be our art teacher for the junior high. Mark Kurtman will receive stipends for the 24-25 year for the debate coach there. Kayla Shapker hired as long-term substitute for our English class at the high school. And David Wilson for instructional assistant at South Terrace. Then you'll see the renewals that we have there is printed. Then we're looking at accessory buses.
Looking for a motion to approve the consent items as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and consent items.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on these? The insurance increase, is that something specific to us, or is that?
Across the board.
Okay.
What's the difference between a type A and a conventional diesel bus?
Okay, type A are the 2 of the short, are
The activity.
2 short buses, like the activity bus, all of their
A stands
yellow,
for activity.
all of their yellow buses. Not anyone can drive them, I think, on the regular activity bus. And then the 1 diesel bus that we have down there, it's not running.
Oh.
Probably gonna look to take those to Wolf's auction and have them auctioned off.
And have we already replaced the type A buses? Do we need to
They have
replace?
those have been out of service.
Oh, okay.
So no, at this point, we don't need to replace those.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Into new business.
All right, Dr. Baldwin is at a conference for liability tonight. But she did present the board with a list of policies from the previous board policy and procedure handbook that should be retired, as they are now covered in Neola policies. Additionally, Dr. Baldwin introduced the new procedure handbook, which includes administrative guidelines not addressed by Neola.
Just a reminder on the policies, whatever we do tonight, this can be brought back up at any point. It's not set in stone. Specifically, there was a policy on athletic fundraising. When we do a motion on this, I would ask that that policy be excluded from being included because we're gonna look into that a little further. And our patron concerns, policy and rules of decorum, I would like to see these included as an addendum to the policy. That I did speak with Dr. Walden. She said it should be no big deal to just include these in with the Neola. But if we could make our motion specific to those two things, it would be appreciated. So we were looking for a motion to approve these.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second it. Waiting for you to say what you were gonna say.
Sorry. Mom brain.
Any other discussion on these? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Slagle.
All right, we have our second read for our use of district-owned physical property policy. We have first read in November.
I'll move to approve the policy. I'll second.
A motion to approve from Jennifer and a second from Lindsay to approve the use of district-owned physical property. Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Next, we have the quote from Wireless Network Solutions. We're still finishing up hooking all the doors up to our Wi-Fi system, which will eventually then give us access with our phones. There were some doors that were missed. And then there are some other things that we just want to add to it, like the field house, and some other doors.
So that includes key card access for the.
Correct.
This is coming out of the Geo.
Yes.
Motion to approve this.
Make a motion, we approve the quotes for the wireless networking solutions for security for the rest of the buildings.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on this? I did ask previously, and I don't know if I think it was looked into, I can't remember, relocating the awkward button
Yes.
at the high school.
That's
Is there-
part of it.
They can relocate
My
that?
understanding is that was part of it.
Awesome.
Good.
I agree. That was a terrible choice.
That one's kind of behind you?
Yes, you have to turn around and push it.
Yeah.
You have somebody yelling over your shoulder.
You gotta find it.
Yeah. Hit the button.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Ask the board to approve two donations of $5,000 apiece that Deputy Carter received to help us put vape detectors in our high school and junior high.
For a motion to approve these donations.
I make a motion that we approve acceptance of the donations for the vape detection system.
I'll second.
We'll give it to Lindsay. Any discussion on that? No, we're making her go to another meeting.
Okay.
Who donated these funds?
One was the prosecutor's office and one was the gentleman that owns the One Stop.
Peter?
Mhm.
Is there a timeline when they're going to be started or any target for them?
It's like we already have.
Some of them we have. This will just be adding to it.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Brandon Barrett is asked to organize an educational trip to Philadelphia on March 24. The proposed trip is an all-inclusive 4-day experience featuring visits to Independence Hall, Liberty Bell, Hershey, Valley Forge, and Gettysburg.
Motion to approve the March 2027 trip.
I'll make the motion to approve that educational trip.
Second,
I'll second it.
any discussion on that?
That's 2027, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And is that during spring break? How does that work?
Usually. We haven't set spring break yet, so he's probably waiting.
Yeah.
There are some very neat places they're going there. I've been to
Mhm.
How
all but
many
one.
students and chaperones typically go on these?
So when we went to DC, I want to say we had 3 pretty full buses, like somewhere around 150 maybe.
Yeah.
Students and parents. The Philly trip, the DC trip, we drove overnight, and there were some people that didn't really like that. Slept on the bus. As soon as we got there, we started doing stuff. So they added a day to the Philly trip, which added cost, and it kind of cut the attendance down. I attended both of them. One with just my oldest, the Philly trip with both of my daughters. Both great trips, but yeah, that was an amazing trip. Like, makes you want to go back and spend more time at places. But I think the Philly trip was 2 buses, and neither one of them were full. So I want to say it was like 70 or 80 parents and kids.
And what's the ratio of parents to kids?
It was very heavy parents to kids in Philly. We had plenty of chaperones. DC, not as much. It was definitely more kids than parents, but it was still a good ratio. I mean, no one was going to get lost.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
All right, we're asking the board for permission to pay out the teacher appreciation grant from IDOE. We are asking to include our academic coach, e-learning coach, librarians, psychologists, and counselors, speech therapists. These are all certified positions that aren't in a classroom. We ask that they be added to the grant.
The grant
be paid out. It's paid out, yes. That's what I meant.
A stipend separate from the grant. Looking for a motion to approve this request.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Next, we have Mr. Gentile has asked to transfer his accumulated leave days as needed to his wife to support her during her time of the pandemic.
Looking for a motion to approve this request.
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on this?
Is this something that we do commonly? It seems to me we've done some of that before. When we had people, I think it's good.
How many days is this?
He has 150 plus days.
Okay, have a motion.
We should encourage staff to give more days like that, and we don't have the overflow at the end.
We do, like we're given like an opportunity to give one in a lifetime, I think, two.
That's certified.
Certified.
Classified.
So we can give it like to that, yeah.
Not to the board.
Not to non-cert, so. We could give more a year, but I mean, that's what we do.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Professional leave.
All right, we're asking you to approve Ms. Kirkman going to the Teaching American History Presidential Power in Jasper, which already occurred on December 3rd. Additionally, we have Ms. Oakley is going to do a virtual PD on decreased attention, getting and tantrum behaviors. And then Ms. Kirkman and Dustin May is going to go into the Indiana High School Baseball State Clinic. January 16th and 18th.
Looking for a motion to approve these.
I'll make a motion, we approve professional leave.
Discussion on these. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I will abstain on that one. Motion carries 4-0. Reports and information. Should we hold this back?
Till next week?
Till next week?
Ben took a picture of himself in there, said November in his frame.
That's what I always wanted. Oh, well, thank you. Certainly did
We
not.
greatly appreciate you serving this year. I can say you have challenged my thinking on many occasions, and I'm going to miss that.
Oh, well, thank you.
She can still come back and challenge us.
Be glad to,
That's true.
if you think you need it. Well, oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. That is really nice. Thank you very much. Cool.
Thank you.
Can
Thank
you
you.
show it this way, please? Except we made it clear.
Do you want me to take
Yeah, I
the?
think it's gonna make it clear. There you go. There you go. Now it's showing. There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you guys know who did this? Like, was it somebody local?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, good to get this.
Actually, need to push a crew report in this, next week's meeting.
There you go.
Food service reports.
Those were attached. We have the board dates to be discussed for October 25. I don't know what that is.
Is that with the,
Falls on when we're off, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
they were,
Fall break.
it was on the,
We could probably wait to change that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Look to amend that later.
Our school board attorney, as we know, Mr. Worms resigned, and so that has been posted. At this point, we have no applicants.
when's the deadline for that?
It's coming Friday.
Which Mr. Orm's firm is gonna see us out for the rest of this year.
Yes.
And we will look to name a new attorney in the January meeting, and
Which we have to do anyways.
yeah. On that food service, I have heard nothing but good things about that compared to the way it's been the last couple of years, so that's great.
I ate lunch at the high school twice last week, and it was good.
They ate lunch at North Elementary one day. I brought it over here.
I've heard the same thing. I did have one girl told me, oh, the food's gross at school. I said, how often have you eaten it? She said, well, I ate it last year.
Different companies.
Yeah, I know.
All different taste to it.
All right, so our next board meeting, Amy, we're gonna throw you for a loop here, will be next Wednesday,
What?
December 18th, with an executive session at 5:30 and a regular meeting at 6:30.
Here?
Yeah, that should be fine. And does anyone else have anything for this meeting?
There is a redevelopment commission meeting on Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
Yep,
The 11th.
yes, at noon at the Hubby House. If anybody wants to attend.
It will be at the We the People competition. Yes, we need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second
Few seconds.
Sounds like we were adjourned at 7:30.
it. It's that
It's
time.
that.
Are you having a special meeting this month for the bonds?
Yes.
Is it all about
That'd
the
be,
bonds?
it'll be looking at, our bids and who we sent
Okay, and that's on the 18th, you said.
next Wednesday.
And we opened them today. They were earlier today.
And that's probably why you were here.
Actually, it's not
Oh.
coincidental.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I just sent out invitations to the board meeting. I don't know who I sent them to.